This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Beans. Joining me on the show, we got a full panel tonight. We got Shelton, FIFO, Spike, Manny, and Doc. I don't know where Nick at.
He hiding out.
Did he make it out? He wasn't one of the ones that got his ass whooped in New York.
he back at home watching film right now.
Okay, making sure you ain't out there jumping on folks, bro. Nick in a cell somewhere.
Oh man,
can't get a collect.
Right. But glad to have everybody here. We're definitely gonna recap the first 3 games of the NBA Finals. But first, we got a retirement that we're gonna discuss. Before we get into that, and look ahead to Game 4, and look and talk about Victor Wembanyama and his performance in the finals up to this point as well. But as we always do, man, we kick things off with our performance of the week.
So this is the only reason I'm here, honestly. Is to give best performance. Ain't nobody. I know Nick forgot to reach out to y'all, so you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna go ahead and do it and give the respect that's due. You know what I'm saying to Goggles. You know what I'm saying. She out here hooping. Olivia Miles, man, the true #1 pick. Even though it wouldn't have worked in Dallas, but man, she really been hooping. She impressed me, man. Especially after leaving Notre Dame, and a lot of people was wondering why she left Hannah. And she really bet on herself to prove that like she can really be a hooper. She's just not a #2, and she proving it right now. She got Minnesota in the #1 seed without Fee playing right now, and that's a testament because I definitely thought Minnesota was not going to be looking good at all this year. So she's been the playmaker, not just a scorer. She's shooting 50% from the field. Now 3-point percentage she could do a little bit better there, but overall, man, she really stunting. I know me and B was talking in the group about her really setting it off, and before Juju get there and Hannah get there, like she really making a statement of who I got next carrying the league. So between her and Paige right now, like the future looks bright for the W. And yeah, I just want to make sure Olivia gets some love, man. Shout out to Goggles.
Hey Doc, when the WNBA season start?
Huh?
When the season start?
I said eventually she will be carrying the league. You said when does the what start?
I said when the season start.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Hey, man.
That's best though. We support Black women. Shelton on the show.
I just love hoops, bro. If y'all boys don't love hoops, just say that. That's how I feel about it.
But what was I going to ask you? Oh, they say Caitlin back. She had her first game winner. What was it, last night? The night before?
Caitlin been struggling, bro. Like, don't let one game winner. I mean, she's still shooting poor from the field.
And I don't care about Caitlin Clark.
She's Caitlin turnover at this point.
Did they fire the coach? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cam.
No, go ahead, because we can connect both of these, Jalen. Are we at the point where we at the Caitlin might not be shit point yet?
I don't think it's to the point where she might not be shit. I think it's to the point where you still looking at you got a side eye here. I think it's a lot of factors. It could be team chemistry, the coach. Because last night, Sophie put up a post that they didn't even like that game winner she hit. They didn't even do the play that she drew up. Like they just made their own play. They made ourselves like she took it back down. So I don't know if it was a joke or I don't know the validity, but it was a couple of people that said it was real. So I just think it's team chemistry, a lot of it. But I think it's also her ego. She very much got an ego, but she's not the best player on that team. Like Kelsey Mitchell is the best player on that team. They should be running the game through. I think they're forcing it through Caitlin. Kelsey Mitchell should be #1 and then hand it off to Caitlin. But she the cash out.
Did they end up firing the coach? I know they had those differences, but I didn't see whether they actually fired her or not.
Nah, she there. I mean, you could tell that they still beefing low key though, but she's still there.
Has Caitlin done her job? And what I mean by that is that she got a high volume of eyeballs on her. And you can speak to this on whether there's retention there. But I guess the question I'm asking is if she was to go away right now, would they miss her? Because I know she was already gone last year, and it didn't really seem to impact much.
I think the league will be fine because even her, I think a lot of people are just fans online. A lot of people just make noise about Caitlin online. How many people actually show up? I mean, people were showing up, but I don't even know if they still showing up. Like the league did great without her last year, so it's not like they need her. There's a lot of sold out games without her. And again, like I said, you got Paige that's hooping, that's bringing eyes. Olivia now that's hooping. Juju will be there next year. Well, not next year, the year after next. Hannah be there next year. Like the league will be fine. Like, we definitely got some hoopers that's really coming there to bring eyes to the game.
Shout out Alicia Gray in the Atlanta Dream. They in third place.
Would you say that she's a disappointment? So, like, you know how we talk about, like we talk about Zion, like if this was NBA terms or whatever, or you talk about somebody else that we look at as like not living up to the hype. Would you say that so far for what her hype was coming out, her stature, etc., she's a bit of a disappointment? I don't say bust because I don't think she's a bust, but definitely not, the great white hope that I think a lot of people kind of made her out to be.
Yeah, I would say, but I would give it some time just because the first season happened and then she was hurt most of last year. I was after this year, we'll have a gauge to be like, all right, yeah, she ain't who she thinks she is. So, yeah, she's supposed to be, like you said, the next great white hope. She should be the face of the league, looking to be like the next face of the league, the way they was hyping her up. But, I mean, it's still Asia's league. Still Stewie ahead of her, AT's ahead of her. Like, she's not – I don't consider her to be in the top 5. But that's what she should be the way they was hyping her up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Shout out to the ladies.
Shout out to the ladies.
Maybe one day we'll start covering them. I don't make the show notes, so,
you got to watch it for him to put it in the show notes in the first place. It ain't like you going to just sit here and not talk about nothing.
I could be the host. Nobody. What about everybody else?
At least I got Spike. Spike was watching Unravel. He watched that one-on-one tournament.
I definitely watched that Unravel.
Yeah, Unravel was one though.
I'm a casual observer.
Don't be believing Spike. Spike ain't watched this though.
Sheldon, I do want to read the lines like you. You get all your sports news from what the favorites is and betting. You get your news from DraftKings.
All right, man. Let's jump into the first quarter. Before we begin recapping the 2026 NBA Finals, there was some NFL breaking news announced last week as Russell, he is a good man, Savannah Wilson, informed the world on Twitter that he is retiring from the NFL after 14 seasons. The 10-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion is heading to CBS Sports and the NFL today to join the broadcasting team for the upcoming 2026-27 season. What are your thoughts on Russell Wilson's NFL career, and is he a lock to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
I thought Russell had he overachieved in his.
Oh,
I know he overachieved in his career, and he had a wonderful, wonderful career. You can't say much more for a guy who was looked at like a baseball player coming out of college to make it in this league and do some of the things he's done. When he first got there,
he was
right? He was but he was brought in to be behind Matt Flynn as a backup. So, and he was, like I said, he was more known as a baseball player than he was football. So that was what he was looked at as being like a quarterback that was not a great arm, undersized. He was not looked at like your prototypical starting NFL quarterback. So for him to come in and take that job from Matt Flynn and go on to do the things he was able to do, win a Super Bowl in Seattle and accomplish a lot of different things that he was able to do and get that money and he got that wife. He did a lot in his time, and he was ridiculed a lot, and looked down upon as kind of like this goofy guy at times. But for the most part, he won, and you can't say too much more than that. So for me, I think he did excellent. I do not think he's a lock for the Hall of Fame. However, I think he does have a shot, but he's not a lock.
I feel like he's a Hall of Famer, not first ballot though. But I think he's had a Hall of Fame career, and I think a lot of the points that you made are the reasons why. Like, nobody talked about Russell Wilson being one of the better quarterbacks of his draft class and of his era. He didn't come in with that type of hype. He earned it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he was drafted to be a backup. Matt Flynn signed $100 million contract, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And he got benched. And he got benched because Russell Wilson outplayed him. Went to multiple Super Bowls, only got one. 14-year career. How many Pro Bowls you said, Ken? 10? 10 all-pro seasons?
10 Pro Bowls. Yep.
10 Pro Bowl. How many all-pro seasons? Hold on, let me ask chat real quick.
Yeah.
How many all-pro seasons? Because if he has at least like 4 or 5 all-pro seasons,
I don't think he got no first team all-pro season.
Let's see.
He is the second and third team, I believe.
I have like one or two, like second or third team all-pros.
Right. Lock, no. I wouldn't say he was a lock. But I think he deserves to get in at some point. I think he had a good enough career. Well, not good enough. He had a Hall of Fame career. He went to the Super Bowl 2 times back-to-back. There were times where he was in the MVP conversation throughout the season. It tailed off at the end of the season, and we remember a lot more of that than we do the earlier times. But I think there was a 2, 3, 4 year stretch maybe that Russell Wilson was that dude, and he should have 2 Super Bowl rings. So, yeah,
I think he had a great career. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. The only reason I say that is because he's definitely going to be on the ballot. And I think he definitely has a chance to get in. I don't personally look at Russell Wilson as a Hall of Famer just because the way his career, I can't get over how his career kind of ended. You know, I think if he had another strong 3-4 year finish with Denver, I think he'd definitely be a lock. But I think the way his career is so interesting because he literally was that. It started out as, like you said, we all said he was a backup to Matt Flynn, won the job. And his first couple of years, he was kind of more so of a game manager, not really the guy. And then he had that middle chunk there, about a 5-year period where he was one of the best quarterbacks in the sport. And then it just kind of petered out at the end. And I can't get over that end in Denver and Pittsburgh where he played okay, but he wasn't that guy. So I think his last few years, I think if he had another run of like 2 or 3 good years, maybe not all pro years, but like consistent Pro Bowl years, I think he'd have a better argument. But yeah, the way his career kind of ended.
But this is the reason why I think he's a Hall of Famer. You can't tell the story of the NFL without talking about Russell Wilson, right? Like you can't tell the story of the NFL without talking about that Seattle Seahawks team. And he was that leader on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, the heartbeat was Marshawn Lynch. Yeah. Marshawn was the heartbeat. But let's be honest, cool, calm, collected under pressure. You already knew that you had an opportunity to win because Russell Wilson was your quarterback.
But to your point, FIFO, when you're talking about the history of the league and the story of football, and I agree with you, all those things, what's the thing that's going to come down? What's the thing you're going to remember?
That interception.
Malcolm Butler.
That interception was huge.
Yeah. That's that. So I think about, like, if he doesn't throw that interception and Marshawn Lynch just runs it in, he probably is a lot.
That's guaranteed. No, 100%. That's guaranteed. But that's why I think that he is a Hall of Famer, just not first ballot.
So let me ask you this. You brought up a good point. How many Hall of Famers on that Legion of Doom team? If he don't get in.
Lynch.
Lynch getting in before Russell?
Yeah.
Marshawn what about, is Cam Chancellor Hall of Famer?
No. I don't think so.
Is Richard Sherman?
The only other one is Richard Sherman.
Yes.
Sherman, not
Sherman's
Sherman.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Sherman would probably be the only one to me.
Sherman, Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas is questionable.
Earl Thomas because his career ended early, but I think he was definitely on that track. Cam Chancellor,
he was the best player on that team.
Yeah,
he was.
Agreed. Sherman's not first ballot, but he'll get into the Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
Bobby Wagner.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, Wagner's definitely.
Bobby Wagner is.
Yeah, first ballot.
I think look, the best thing Russell Wilson did his whole career in the NFL is marry that black woman. That's
yes.
Look, we see so many of them go the other direction. Okay. No one had him marry.
He started that way, though, Ken.
Out of all,
he started that way.
Hey man, and he kept. As corny, as crazy as he is, he kept it true. That was one of the best things he did.
The best thing he ever did was be a father to Future's kids. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, and a good stepdad. He's all right, man. He had a good run off the backs of the Legion of Boom, I think like you said, Manny, for couple of years, he was the catalyst for them offensively being really, really good. I think they didn't have an offensive line or something like that. But Russell really, I mean, outside of the Super Bowl, he really ain't done much of anything. The Pro Bowl don't really mean anything nowadays. That shit's so watered down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think he's a Hall of Fame player at all.
At his peak, did you ever really look at him as like on that Brady, you know?
It was only 1 year. Because I rarely had Russell in my top 10, but it was 1 year that I was like, oh no, he's one of the top best quarterbacks in the league that I remember.
Good quarterback, had a great career, but I just never looked at him on that level.
So Matthew Stafford, I will feel like is his comp. Do y'all have Matthew Stafford going in?
I think.
Let's say he don't win the Super Bowl, another Super Bowl.
I think Matthew Stafford's had a more consistent career than Russell.
Matthew Stafford is Russell's comp.
I would
like Russell's end of his career was like Matthew Stafford's first 10. Matthew Stafford, I don't feel like got the recognition that he's getting now within the last 2?
He had to leave Detroit.
Maybe 3 years.
I was
like no one was saying Matthew Stafford was a great quarterback in Detroit.
Yeah, they were.
Like I feel like no one.
He was more talented though. Like he was more talented, and we saw
Russell.
that.
Yeah, he's more talented.
Yeah,
but I feel like he's definitely more talented, but it didn't amount to anything.
You kind of looked at at least
he was a better quarterback.
He was definitely He was definitely more talented. I wouldn't say he was a better quarterback in Detroit, just because you kind of looked at Stafford kind of like you looked at Jay Cutler, kind of a guy that was like ultra talented, had the prototypical quarterback build, arm, all that. But you really kind of looked at it like, is this dude really that dude?
It was,
but
that
team. Was more so play
calling.
The
organization.
Yes. Thank you, Ken.
Stafford.
Matt Stafford. Think about this. Spike. Matt Stafford was a first-round pick. Matt Stafford was drafted to be the savior. Matt Stafford was drafted to be the franchise. Russell Wilson was not. That's not a good comp. We also the physical different. Wait, hold. Comp from what then? Because the way they went into the league and with the expectation. Different. Matt Stafford was throwing 3,500 yards, 4,000 yards his whole career.
But in Detroit,
Russell Wilson eased into that.
But in Detroit, he wasn't what he was in LA.
I don't disagree. That's a lot of Sean McVay, 100%. But he also had Megatron. Did Megatron not just catch damn near 2,000 yards in a season? Did he not do? Who was throwing him the ball?
Matthew Stafford. I'm not saying he had.
What that got to do with
Russell Wilson? Yeah, Russell Wilson never had a Megatron. The careers are comparable in the sense of you had Russell Wilson when he was at this high for 2 to 3 years, just like you have Matthew Stafford, who's having this high of the last 2 to 3 years, but the rest of their careers have been like meh.
I think I'm with you somewhat, Spike. I think the issue with Stafford is I think Stafford's had more track record of longevity. Like the problem with Russell Wilson is the highs were high and the lows were low, like really low. And that's kind of the problem, like as a Hall of Fame voter, where I'm like, well, which Russell Wilson is it? Is he the Denver Russell Wilson that was like unplayable? Or is he the guy in Seattle towards the end where he was an MVP candidate? So that's kind of like that. Stafford never had those lows. He probably wasn't as good as he should have been his first 5, 6, 7, 8 years in Detroit, but he was never that like, oh man, this dude is unplayable at the position. So that was the issue. That's the thing where I think your comp kind of loses me, where I don't think it's a clear correlation there between the two, personally. And Nick is not in jail. All right, what's good, Nick?
You look like he
thought you were beating up Spurs fans in New York, man.
You got blood on the shirt.
Yeah, we were just wrapping up the Russell Wilson conversation. He a Hall of Famer to you?
I want to say no, but he is. I want to say no, but he is. I think if he would have won that second Super Bowl, it's a no-brainer. But ever since then, it's like his career went downhill a little bit. But what he's done, 10-time Pro Bowler, 1-time Super Bowl champ, people in the Hall of Fame for less than that. So yeah, he's in there.
So not first ballot though. You think he's a first?
No,
ballot
I think he's going to get in there. I don't think he's a first ballot.
I agree with that.
He gonna have to make it. He gonna have to get in after Eli.
You let Eli in, you might as well put Russ in.
Eli
let me in.
Eli deserves to be in there.
I don't think Eli getting in, bro.
Eli's getting in.
If Eli get in,
yeah, they'll let him in.
I'll get in.
Okay. Good luck to that.
Ouch.
All right, man. Well, let's is this the right one? Hold on. Well, yeah, I guess so. All right, man. Let's get into it, man. We know what you guys are here for. Not boring NFL talk. Let's get into the finals. So let's shift our focus back to the NBA as we prepare to watch Game 4 of the finals tomorrow night in New York City. The Knicks stole home court advantage in the first 2 games in San Antonio, but the Spurs responded by extending the series with a win in Game 3 at Madison Square Garden. What are your thoughts on how the finals have gone so far, and who has been the most surprising player you have witnessed up to this point?
Hi, everyone. I'm Cece Winans. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. You can become a partner in Hope right now for just $19 a month. And thanks to the generosity of people like you, families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, so they can focus on helping their child live.
Join us at musicgives.org.
It's a heavyweight fight. Look, honestly, at this point, I don't care who wins. It has been. Every game has been close. Nobody has blown anybody out. The 2 stars are struggling to really leave their imprint in the game. It's been a lot of the others. This is what great basketball is right here. Not a blowout, not, you know what I'm saying? It's been ebbs and flows, punch, counter punch. And what the San Antonio Spurs were able to do is make this a series now, because New York came in there and they showed their age and their experience by closing those first 2 games out. Realistically, San Antonio, in my opinion, has outplayed the Knicks more minutes, but the runs that the Knicks have had have been to seal the game. Both players that we see down here.
Would you say analytically the Spurs should be up 3-0?
At least 2-1. At least 2-1 analytically. But look,
Kenny Atkinson.
Okay. Brunson and Wemby still have not had a Brunson or really Wemby game. Wemby had a good game, the best game so far of this series for himself, Game 3. But you look at this, man, this is just great basketball being played. I love the fact that the refs are letting it go. They're letting them play. And the others, like last night was Josh Hart. But I'm going to tell you this, OG Anunoby has channeled his inner Carmelo with the damn jab pull up. Like, hey, what's going on? Like big shots after big shots, and not just on the offensive end, the defensive end. Manny, you was right. You call OG the X factor, and he's really been that guy for them. Taking on the likes of the Vassels and the Castles, and even Dylan Harper, getting a lot of timely blocks and steals and first team all defense. That's the reason why. But now this series is a damn great series. You know what I'm saying? If you watch this top to bottom, any team could have won any one of these games, and I think that's why it's such a damn great series. And they match up well. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that has gotten the minutes has taken advantage of it. But look, I think the top 3 New Yorkers right now, Landry Fields shooting 58 or 50-some% from 3 is wow, I went back.
You went too far back.
I went way back. But now Landry Shamet.
Play like Landry Fields in Game 3.
I know, right? Shamet shooting 50-some% from 3. OG with the timely. And then look at Josh Hart, man. Like Josh Hart is not always with the points. Josh Hart is showing you what I define as a championship role player. What do we need, coach? I got you. You need me to hit threes this game? You need me to get 15 rebounds? You need me to get 4 blocks? Like, what you need me to do? That's a championship role player, and they got those guys over there in New York. With the Spurs, we seeing the youth. We see in the youth and experience. New York has been able to hawk them boys down at the end of the game, and it's just they put them away. They've been putting them away except for game 3. But we're seeing the maturation and the figuring out of high-level basketball in real time. Bro, the best player on that San Antonio team is 22 years old, and their average age is 25.1, the second youngest team to ever make the finals behind OKC a year or two ago. So at the end of the day, man, great freaking basketball. I don't care who wins at this point.
I think we'll have a great series if the Spurs tie this series up tomorrow. If not, then let's get out of here.
Yeah, it's been an interesting series so far just because, I don't think there's been a great game. There's been great moments and pockets of greatness, but I don't think there's been a great game throughout, like a classic yet. We may still see it. It's been an interesting series because I think, jokingly I said the Spurs should be up analytically 3-0. You could make the argument the Spurs should be up 3-0 right now. Like, you could legitimately make that argument. I know Nick is shaking your head. Let me talk. But let's be real here. That they've had a double-digit lead in every game of this finals. Like, if they just play smarter down the stretch, they could have won all 3 of these games. Now, you could say the same thing about the Knicks, of course, but I thought the Knicks lost game 3. Like, they kind of deserved to lose game 3. But the Spurs, listen, I think that what you've seen so far, I think the youth of the Spurs, I think, showed up in a negative way the first 2 games, right? The mistakes, the turnovers, not being able to kind of play winning basketball when it counted, especially late game situations. But I think I was really impressed with what the Spurs did last night in game 3. For a young team to go into Madison Square Garden with all that hype, with all that energy, with that building rocking the way that it was. I mean, you got the fucking president in attendance. I've seen veteran teams fold in those situations. For that team to come out and completely outplay the Knicks for most of that game, I was really impressed with the Spurs. Say what you want to say. I don't know if they're going to win or not the rest of the series, but for them to respond the way that they did, that was really impressive. And I think we got a series, man. Again, the Spurs have guaranteed that this, at the very least, will go 5, if not 6. So it's interesting because I think that after Friday night, I don't think any of us would have thought we were here in this moment right now. So it's been an interesting series. We'll see how it goes. I think the Spurs have been the better team. I think statistically and just kind of watching the games, I think the Spurs have shown that they've been the better team. But the Knicks have been the more clutch team and the team that that has shown their veteran presence so far. So we'll see who's going to win out: youth and talent versus veteran and experience. So we'll see.
Man, I was with you till you mentioned who was in attendance because nobody care about that. But
you know what I mean.
I completely agree. The biggest difference in this series has been the closing moments and the fact that Brunson is a closer. It was surprising to see the Spurs battle back and not just win the game. It's one thing to win the game, but to battle back after losing that big lead like they did again, and to fight back when most people, including myself, thought they were dead in the water. I thought the series was over at halftime. And I'm sure other people thought the same way. So to see them fight back the way they did and to win in that situation on the road, like you said, with so many loud fans in the building, it was really a beautiful thing to watch. It was a really, really good game. And this series has been good, if you ask me. It's been a chess match from both sides. You're just seeing a better – you're seeing the closers is what matters the most. You can tell that these teams are kind of evenly matched as far as it goes throughout the game. But whoever closes strongest wins the game normally. And the biggest standout for me is in a negative way is Cat. Well, it shouldn't be a stat. It's not a surprise to me because I've been saying it all along. This man has no points in the fourth quarter in this series, and he's received praise in those first 2 games. I'm like, wait a minute. Are people watching the fact that he's disappearing? You're paying such attention to what Brunson is doing. You're not even noticing that he's not contributing down the stretch. And this man, to be of his stature and his talent, he has to do something for this team to come out and win this next game. To win game 4, you're going to need Cat to finally show up late in the game and do something, give you something. You got nothing from Bridges this game whatsoever. And you need Cat to kind of step up and do something. Give me something in the fourth quarter. He challenges Wemby's quarter 1 through 3, but in the fourth quarter, he hides. And that's not going to hold up. You need his presence to be successful. Josh Hart played a great game, too, in game 3, which was shocking. He was finally hitting shots. But you can't count on that. That's not something you can count on. But that's the biggest difference I've seen. I think the confidence level of the Spurs, too, is impressive to me. When you hear them talk, Wemby told you. Wemby said he said the series not over. He feels really confident about what's going on. You heard the same thing from Castle last night. Said we're gonna win these next 3 games. So you seeing a confident young team. They ain't scared. And if you're a New York fan, Nick, I'm sorry, but you got to be scared, bro.
That's crazy talk, bro.
I still got Spurs in 6. I ain't changing.
Yeah, to say that,
you can't because y'all already mentioned.
Yeah, about to say. First of all, FIFA
Ken, I've been down this road before, Ken. I've been down this road before, Ken.
I'm just saying to go out and say you're gonna win the next 3 is definitely YN talk.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We're done. We might as well just pack it up. Ain't no way we're gonna win in front of all these celebrities, and like, of course they're gonna say that. You know,
I think there's a more mature way to have it, but they are young. I get it because they haven't really proven anything yet except last night, and they barely proved that shit. Hell, they damn near gave that game away like they did every other game.
That was impressive last night. Even if you're the biggest Spurs hater, and I don't like the Spurs, but that was impressive last night. Like, to go out and win again. I've seen veteran teams fold in that situation, and for them to recover the way that, again, this is a young ass team, and for them to show up, play well, and I thought the most impressive thing, especially in game 3, was that they finally responded to the Knicks' physicality. Because I think, through the first 2 games, you kind of saw the Knicks kind of big brother in them. And I think they finally kind of like, hey, yo, nigga, like, you're not about to hoe us. Like, you're not about to punk us. Like, we about to hit you in the mouth and we're going to have a rock fight. Like, we doing this. And I thought that they answered the bell. And I thought the Knicks were kind of left a little staggered, like, yo, these niggas is punching back. Like, and so I think that was the most impressive thing, too, of just like they were able to respond to the physicality of the Knicks, because I thought the Knicks had really won and taken advantage of them on the physicality front in the first 2 games.
I think in all 3 games in the fourth quarter, they have fought back. In game 1, they did the same thing and could have won that game, but they did dumb shit. Game 2, we know what happened with game 2. I don't know what the hell Wemby was thinking. He don't even know. He was about to cry. The tears was shedding. He's so high in the sky, would have been like a cloudburst, raining on everybody. He was about to shed some tears. And even last night, it looked like they definitely got punched in the mouth, and they were about to screw up that game, because they come out, they have these double-digit leads early, they get confident, they walking around smiling, laughing, ha-ha, kikiing, and then the next thing you know, they're down by 2 or 5, and then they got to somehow try to scrap and rally and get back in the game. And you got the thing that when I look at both of these games, I think game 3 was the first time I finally seen the Spurs play like the Spurs. First couple of games was way too much Wemby. Wemby out here thinking he fucking Kobe Bryant and doing all kind of dumb shit.
Hi, everyone. I'm CeCe Winans. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. You can become a partner in Hope right now for just $19 a month. And thanks to the generosity of people like you, families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, so they can focus on helping their child live.
Join us at musicgives.org.
Ken, let me ask you a question real quick. Let me ask you a question. What's the commonality when the Spurs have a double-digit lead and then the Knicks make a run? What's the commonality there?
You talking about when we go off the court? But they play well.
No, wait, hold on.
I don't think that's as common as you think it is. They can play without him being on the court.
I've watched every single game, Ken. Every time the Knicks make their major run to take control of the game, Wemby's out the game. You know what Mitch Johnson did?
But you
wait,
can't
hold
stay on the court.
Hold on, Ken. You saw what Mitch Johnson did, and look, we talking about adjustments. It's not always X's and O's. It's also how you do your rotations. He took Wemby out with almost 5 minutes left in that third quarter. Sat him all of that, and then you got to remember after the quarter, you got that TV timeout as well. He came back and Wemby played the whole fourth quarter, Ken. The whole fourth quarter. So I get where you coming from, but nah, bro. Every time the Knicks have made that run, Wemby has not been on the court, bro.
I agree with people there, and I think Cornette can't guard Cat one-on-one.
No,
Wemby can't fucking guard Cat,
bruh. Come on now.
Only Cat. But it changes geometry when Wemby's out there.
There has been a liability.
But here's the thing. Like I've watched the Spurs play. They are a well-balanced team. They're not Wemby dominant. So in terms of them being able to attack the paint when he gets out, I understand that. But offensively, the Spurs should be able to continue to run their offense. They shouldn't just fall apart the way they fall apart when he's off the court. You know, so I think that's one thing that I'm looking at.
What does that say about Wemby? That means that Wemby is more than just their best player. He's the calming effect to that team because they know that when he's out here, we definitely can win. And they can again. Think about OKC without Shea. What the hell the rest of them guys doing? They would look like they falling apart too. Their best player not there. Look, at the end of the day, Ken, Wemby is the difference of a good team that is a playoff contender versus a championship contender. And you're seeing it every time he's off the court. Every time he's off the court, that New York team makes a run. They like, hey, big man out the game, go straight to the rack. Go straight to the rack. It's wide open. You ain't got to pay no tolls on the highway.
I saw him on the court in game 2.
I thought they make it seem like something that he been out the game since game 1. I'm like, I swear he played in these games.
He did.
Have made their run though. The time the Knicks have made their run have been primarily when I think it's just adjusting your substitution patterns, right? Like I don't think Wemby can be out of the game and Cat still be in the game. And I don't think Wemby. I think you almost have to mirror what the Knicks do with their substitutions, where if Cat go out of the game, that's when you want to cheat and maybe take Wemby out for a couple minutes. Or if Brunson's out of the game, that's when you want to cheat and get Wemby a couple minutes. I will say this though. I think the first 3 games, I think has shown that the Spurs X factor is De'Aaron Fox, because he's that other playmaker, veteran guard that can score off the dribble, play make for others. And I think that you saw it last night. You saw it in game 2. They made that run in game 2. De'Aaron Fox was the one that led them in that comeback.
He's trying.
De'Aaron Fox was the one that hit the big 3, hit some big shots. So I think that's the other thing about it too. But I agree with FIFO though. I think what this series has exposed is the lack of depth in the San Antonio Spurs, especially I think Cornette is a net negative in this series. Like he can't play because he cannot guard. He cannot guard Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, this is funny.
Go ahead. Harper, the only one that's playing with some like composure. I like when he's out there. Castle finally got back, and Harper, you know.
Oh yeah. Harper. He missing a lot of things. Castle.
But he's not a shooter.
You know, but
he taking him.
I think real quick, Spike. I don't know how much you have to say, but Castle finally got into the series and settled down. On the Knicks side, I don't know how long OG will continue to play at this clip. I don't know how long the stat that I saw of Bronson having more assists or turnovers or whatever that stat is will last, or how often he would continue to shoot a poor percentage. But you know, he very much, just like SGA, he's a free throw merchant too. He loves trying to get to the free throw line, and you know that's not happening. Then sometimes when Wemby's out there playing on the court, he be out there looking all lanky and like a damn slinky, like Cat. He be looking all kind of loosey goosey. I'm like, bro, what the hell is going on? He can't get past Cat. He can't get past Mitchell Robinson. You know. Cat, he can't guard either one. He can't guard Cat, and he can't guard anybody. All he can do is just run around and just play help defense and scare people when they come into the paint, like the Slender Man, like it's a scary movie. Mm-hmm. So Wemby got some work to do. He had a great game in game 3. I think what I saw is looked like the Spurs have finally figured some things out and got their composure and adjusted. So will the confidence carry over into game 4 and they win that game? Or was last night what everybody figured was going to happen when we saw the announcement? They were going to lose because Trump was in the building. And if that's what it was, then we'll be done in 5.
Yeah, I wish I had picked Knicks in 5 instead of 6, because as y'all have said through everybody's points, you can see the Spurs being a young team. Like you can tell when youth is coming into play. And I think the Knicks are just a better basketball team. They were up 2-0 without Cat scoring a point in the fourth quarter. They were up 2-0 with Brunson having 2 really bad games. Like the Spurs pulled one out last night because they played Wemby the whole fourth quarter. And to FIFO's point, geometrically, the game is just so different when he's in there. Like where he's roaming at in the free throw line, like that little area where nobody feels safe and that they can get a shot up. So, yeah, defensively, he's making a big difference. But on the offensive end, that's the reason I feel like they can't win this series. He's not a dude yet that's a dog and just go get a shot. Reggie Miller mentioned it, and Legler mentioned it as well. It's like he ain't got to that point yet where, all right, we need a bucket, I'm finna go get one. He can't do it. And that's just because his grown man strength ain't there. And New York got bodies to throw at him, so he taking those threes. He may be tired. This is as long as he probably going to play it in the season. All of that comes into play as I'm watching him throughout this series. So will they be great one day? Absolutely. But winning this series against the Knicks, from what I've seen, they've stayed in every game. Everything's been competitive, but they don't look like they can beat them, especially how NBA is set up. Out of 7 games, the better team usually wins. New York is the better team.
Boy, it's funny, Shelton. Boy, I swear, if the Spurs was up 2-1, I don't think FIFA would have said, it don't matter who win. I just want to see a good series. And then to double back and say, oh, I picked the Spurs in 6. My thing is this, bro. I don't want to hear all these ifs that Manny was talking about. Because Sheldon, like I said, if my grandmama had wings, she'd be a bat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like, it's the Knicks is up 2-1 because the Knicks up 2-1. They really could be up 3-0 if they didn't have turnovers was the big key last game. Yesterday's game had to do a lot. The Knicks had a lot of clumsy turnovers. And then towards the end, they didn't make most of the shots they should have made. Brunson tried a little bit, but he couldn't come through after all those just unnecessary turnovers. I know a lot of people are going to focus on the refs. This series has not been called right from both sides, so I don't really know how that's going to go. But to me, Game 4 is the series right now, because if the Knicks go up 3-1, it's over. If the Spurs tied up 2-2, it's a whole new series. So I think Game 4. Usually people say Game 5, but it's Game 4. Obviously, whoever wins Game 4, that would make Game 5 even more crucial. But to me, Game 4 is the series. But I think to Lou's point, like you said, like everybody keeps on focusing on the Wemby aspect of this series and how dominant or what he has been doing, what he hasn't been doing. But like the Knicks have not played to their full strength and are winning this series right now. Like they won 2 on the road with Wemby having a chance to even tie it up then, and he couldn't. Because he hasn't been in this position before. We don't know what kind of shots he can just make just yet, because we're still learning and still seeing the early part of his journey of his NBA career. So that's why I've always been hesitant on the Spurs throughout the season, because it's like we keep on saying these things that he can do, but he hasn't done it yet. I feel like Game 4 at Madison Square Garden, Brunson, Cat, all of them have to be locked in for the Knicks to win this series. They have to do this. They have to get this out the way, because trying to go 6 or 7 with this team, I think it would tire them out even more, just because it's been this is the longest the Knicks have been in the playoffs, to Lou's point, in a long time. They're over 20 some years. So they need to kind of close this series out as quick as possible. But to me, last night wasn't more of I knew Wemby was good enough to get them at least one. And I think last night was the one that they got, especially with how things are going to play. Not to say that the Knicks are overwhelmingly the better team, but I just do think they're just the better team. That's why I picked them in 5. But Game 4 is a big game for me. But to hear all the conversation just be more about the Spurs and what they aren't doing, if they just fix these little things, then they'll be all right. I'm like, shit, nigga, ifs, ands, and buts can say a lot of things, but what's going on right now is they don't got it. And until they win their series, they're not going to prove that to me. Just like to other people, until the Knicks win the series, they're going to still look like the Spurs are the better team, even though they're down in the series, which makes no sense. because anybody in this position, people will be like the other team who's up in the series is the favorite. But because they got the Frenchman who hasn't done shit but looks good, everybody's still on that bandwagon. It's just kind of like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I just
what does the Knicks at full strength? You say they haven't played their best game. What does that look like?
What it look like? I mean, look at how Game 3 was. Cat couldn't make a shot in the second half. Brunson has been. It's like he's taken 50 shots to get 50 points throughout this series. And then again, the turnovers. Turnovers are a big thing. Now, again, the foul calling has heavily been on the Spurs side. But again, I don't like to bring refs into the shit because if you're waiting on the refs to help you win the game, then you already lost. So to me, it's just more about shot selection because some of the shots in the Knicks, they just chuck up shit because they can't get to the paint. And I don't really like that offense. I think if they play Knicks basketball, spread the ball around, and get everyone involved, we've seen in the first 2 games how that works. So again, Brunson needs to be more efficient. Cat needs to step up in the fourth. To Sheldon's point, he hasn't scored any points. And then you look at Game 3, if he even makes a couple of those shots, the series is 3-0. And then we're coming. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying though. For as much, like I said, like as much praise as Cat has gotten in this series, that's a big thing. That was a big part of Game 3 was that they were missing. He was missing his shots, and they couldn't really close it out. And the spread of the game hasn't been that much of a big point differential for either side. But to me, that's the thing. It's just they have to be more efficient with their shooting and keep the turnovers down, and they win this.
One more question, Nick. One more question, Manny. Do you think the Spurs have played their best game yet? Is he frozen?
I thought he was frozen.
He pondering. That's what he.
No, he said Manny. That's the only thing that meant.
No, he said the Manny.
Oh no, it was for Nick.
No, it was for Nick.
My bad.
Oh, I thought you said Manny.
Manny, one more question.
I thought you was talking to Manny. My bad. What was you saying, Ken?
Do you think the Spurs have played their best game yet?
I think every game they've played like their best game. I think I said in the chat. I think in the chat.
I said where your bias come. This is where your bias come. Nick.
Can I speak?
I don't
can
care
I
what
speak?
you say. No.
Can I speak?
This is where your bias is coming.
I
from.
think because look how Wemby is in the press conference. He's like, listen, we good for real. All we gotta do is play Spurs basketball. We good. And it's just like it's getting to that point. It's like, okay, well, when is Spurs basketball showing up? Because we've never seen it in the finals before. We've never really seen this team in the playoffs before. So we're going off of everything that we've seen so far. Just as the run is going on. And to me, it's just like you can go back to every game, even going back to Game 2 when Wemby lost them Game 2 because he had the turnover and he missed the shot. If one of those things don't happen, that the Spurs may win that game. Again, we're talking about ifs, but I'm just saying, like, I think the Spurs have played well enough to stay in these games to potentially win these games, but the experience is where they lack, and they're not going to get that anytime soon. So to me, that's what I'm saying. Like
that's not the question, though. That's not the question.
I'm saying their best effort is not good enough because they lack experience. I still think they've given their best effort, but I think it's still not good enough.
Every game.
Yeah, like I don't think it's going to magically happen. Like they win. You think they're gonna win 3 games moving in the next 4?
Why not?
To win the series when they haven't
Let me ask you something. Then. Let me ask you a series of questions. Who had the better record during the regular season?
Okay, we talking about regular season now?
No. I'm just proving a point. Who had the better record? The Knicks or the Spurs?
Why you ask? I hate when you ask dumb questions. Get to your point because we know the answer. So what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
Exactly. The answer is that the Spurs have not played their best game yet. They've played a good enough game to win, but it's not their best effort. It hasn't been their best version. Wemby didn't have 41 points, 25 rebounds, 10 blocks. Like he didn't have a game like that. So until that happens, they have not played their best game.
Can I ask you a question then? What's the Spurs record against the Knicks this season?
They won the game in the playoffs.
It's 4-6, right? It's 4 and I mean it's 2-6. It's 2-6. It's 2-6 so far. If you want to add regular season to it and the playoffs, it's 2-6.
Okay.
So what does that say about who's a better team?
OKC had a better record against. Never mind.
New York. Yeah.
No, OKC had a losing record against the Spurs.
I forgot no. I was about to say that the Spurs had a better record against OKC. They dominated them in the regular season.
They did,
and then I remember they still won, and that game turned into like a dogfight because OKC, when you're playing the same team, we know how it goes. That series was far more competitive than many of us thought because the Spurs were dominating them in the regular season. But when you play a team every time, it's different.
It is. But look,
my point was invalid. It validated though because the Spurs won the series.
At the end of the day, all I'm saying is the question, Nick, is have the Spurs played their best game? And you went all around the bush. You did not keep it a bean. You didn't keep it 100.
I did.
Your whole bias showed because at the end of the day, nobody here can honestly say that the Spurs have played their best game. We've seen them play at a higher level than any one of these 3 games that they just played in. We've seen that. So for you to sit here and boldface go around the whole question and really not answer the question,
it's not boldface. It's not boldface because you act like the Knicks have no part to play in that. The Knicks have a part in playing while the Spurs haven't played what you think is their best basketball. And then you didn't even answer the question when I said, what is the Spurs record against the Knicks this season? It's a losing record. It's an overwhelmingly losing record. And we're seeing that in the finals. So again, it's like, to me, Shelton, they have to win it all for everyone to see, like, okay, the Knicks were the better team.
What was the point differential? Hold on. Because the point differential in those games that you're talking about in the regular season was way more than what it is in the playoffs.
I'm including the regular season and the playoffs. I didn't want to bring up the regular.
Look,
you brought up the regular season. I was going to leave that alone.
I'm talking about the point differential in the regular season versus the playoffs is way crazier. It's tighter now in the playoffs. So what does that say? To Manny's point, the Spurs could have won any one of these games that they just played. And they didn't close them out. Look, Nick. And I'm giving the Knicks mad props.
What's good, y'all? This is Doug E. Fresh, and we're asking for your support. Help us raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food so they can focus on helping their child live. By pledging just $19 a month, you're helping St. Jude give every child with cancer a chance. Help St. Jude save lives. Become a partner in hope today.
Join us at musicgives.org.
I'm giving Mike Brown mad props. I'm giving the whole organization mad props. But at the end of the day, is the way that they were up 2-0, they could have been down 0-2 the same way. It could have went either way. And the point that I'm trying to make is that New York hasn't really played a great New York game because Brunson hasn't gone off. Mm-hmm. So New York, either team has yet to play at their highest level. So this series can still go any way.
Nick, is that the biggest area they can improve is rebounding. I don't know how the hell the rebounds are just bouncing off the damn Spurs' backs, arms, shoulders, legs, like it's a damn line dance or something. It's like, what the hell are we doing? Like so if they clean up rebounding on some of that shit, they could have won game 1 with clean rebounding. That's an area I think they can improve on.
100%, Ken. I was going to say the same thing. Second chance points was the key, has been the key for New York. New York has been getting second and third possessions so often in the series, and they hit big shots when they have to on those extra possessions. And you're seeing there's 2 things that I see more than anything else. I see stupid fouls from the Spurs just out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Some crazy foul, like when you had possession of the ball, why would you do that? Like the when Wemby hit the long 3 and he pushed him in the back. Like for what? What was the push for? It's like some of the stuff they do is crazy. And that's you. That and then the rebounds. Yeah, rebounds.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, do y'all trust that the youth is going to go away over the next 4 games?
I don't trust that the youth is going to go away. I think the argument for the Spurs is I think most people think the Spurs are the better team because they're more talented. Now, obviously, talent doesn't always make you the better team. There's a lot of intangibles that go into that. Nick, to your point, the Knicks are a talented team. Are they the most talented team in this series? Probably not. I think even you as a Knicks fan would say the Spurs have more high-end talent than the Knicks. Now,
I wouldn't say that.
Is at the end of the day, the Knicks are up 2-1. It's all about perspective, right? The Knicks can look at it and say, yo, we should be up 3-0, and we haven't even played our best basketball. The Spurs can look at it and say, well, we haven't even played our best basketball, and we're only down 2-1, and we could easily be up 3-0, right? So I think it's about perspective. I think the question I wanted to ask you, Nick, though, with the Knicks, especially talking about Cat, I think the Knicks, especially in this postseason, were at their best when Cat was being more of the playmaker, playing that point forward, point center position and kind of distributing and letting Brunson off the ball. And I think that's where you really saw the Knicks flourish, everybody get involved. And I think the problem now is that I think they're going back to being kind of Brunson being ball dominant and just kind of controlling everything and just dribble. And I think it's gotten everybody out of the rhythm. So I guess you, as a Knicks fan, to speak to that.
Well, because the Spurs don't play Cat the same way all the time. It's not like Wemby is solely guarding Cat every possession when they're on the court together. Sometimes it's Cat, so they switch it off so Wemby can still play that free safety position where he's hovering over the free throw line and close to the paint to help on with the help assignment on defense. So that way you see Cat when he has a smaller guard on him, people are like, okay, this is time for Cat to attack. Either he's going to drive or shoot over him. But when he does have Wemby on him, he can blow by him because Wemby is, tall and lanky. So he doesn't have that mobility like Cat does to contest with him. So to me, it's just more of like, I think what the Knicks need to do is just, again, it's regardless of Cat playing the point center, again, it's just more about getting better shots. That's the one thing that I'm looking at for, because I hate when they just throw it to Shamet and he just chucks up threes, or McBride just turns around, chucks up threes. It's like, bruh, get a good create a good offensive play. Try your best to at least either attack the rim, and if it's not there, kick it out. Just like I've seen the Spurs play good Spurs basketball when they do that, where they kick it out and they make sure everybody touches the ball before they release. It's the same thing that the Knicks done. That's why I think they went up 2-0 in this series, is because they were playing more complementary basketball. My focus right now with the Knicks is turnovers and shot selection. I know earlier in the series I said it's going to be about rebounding and three-point shots. I think right now both teams are kind of a wash with three-point shots, with their three-point percentage. But the turnovers is how the Knicks won game 2. With Wemby. So it's just I really feel like now that's going to play a bigger effect in the series. And based on how game 3 went and how physical that was, I'm not sure how the refs are going to regulate all this, because it's getting nasty, especially and again, Mike Brown has been in the press conference saying it. So it's always the coach that kind of sets the tone, and he's probably everybody on the Knicks staff is sending the NBA all these highlight clips. So I'm curious to see how game 4 is going to be officiated. But again, if the Knicks just play how they played in game 1 and most of game 2, I think they're fine. Even in game 3, they were up by a half, and I thought they played a really good first half, and that second half is when things teetered. But I have no question. Like, to me, when people say the Spurs are the more talented team, I'm like, okay, if you say Wemby and Cat, as far as talent level, cancel each other out. Let's just say they do. I'm not saying that they're same talent level. I'm just saying, let's say they just cancel each other out. Who else are you picking outside of Wemby and Cat? Like, you remove those from both teams.
That's a huge stretch.
Well, because I'm saying you would say Cat is the most talented player on the Knicks and Wemby's the most talented player on the Spurs, right? That's what I'm just talking about. You remove them from both teams. How many players are you picking from the Spurs over the Knicks? I think you're picking more Knicks players than the Spurs. That's why I say the talent is on the Knicks side. But Cat, again, when those first 2 games, Cat was playing at a very high level. Game 3, he did not, and that's when the Knicks lost. So that's where I'm seeing the difference. That's what I'm seeing the difference.
Nick. I think
Brunson and maybe OG. I don't want anybody else.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Nick. You got the Spurs coming.
They saying the Houston Rockets have a better roster than the San Antonio.
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with this?
No, Nick. What I was gonna say, as far as talented rosters go, Spurs got players up and down that lineup. That
who
you got Castle.
Y'all thinking about the top of the roster though. From
Castle,
top to bottom, the Knicks have a much better team.
No.
Yes, they do.
Castle, Barber,
outside of Brunson and OG,
how he framed
OG and Cat. But that's a big three. Brunson, OG, Cat.
Mikal Bridges is better than
Mikal Bridges is better
than Vassell. I'll give me Mitchell Rock.
At best, that's a wash, and I can argue.
Josh Hart better than Sean Payne.
Yeah, give me Josh Hart. Give me Josh Hart more Champagne.
Josh Hart is trash.
Okay.
Josh Hart is an all-around guy. Champagne's a shooter.
He is. Champagne.
That's what I'm saying.
And play defense.
Mitchell
Robinson. Yeah, the Spurs don't even have a Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah,
they don't even got nobody to guard.
Give me Mitchell Robinson over Cornette.
You just fits the Knicks organization.
You reckon like they don't have nobody?
So again, I keep saying names, and y'all making these defenses where it's like y'all just say you like the Spurs. It's fine if you like the Spurs. That's cool.
You say like the Knicks have overwhelmingly better players.
I didn't say overwhelmingly. I said you're picking more Knicks.
They have a better roster. top to
We're
bottom.
not picking more Knicks. I don't.
Yes,
see
you
that.
are, Ken. I promise you,
Go through them.
Once
You would pick more Knicks.
Outside of
Spike.
OG and Brunson and Cat, like it's pretty easy.
Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, even you just talk about Shamet was shooting what 90% from three.
Shamet's playing great this series, but
I'm just saying. But that's what we're dealing with right now. I can't go into the past, nigga. I'm talking about right now.
Shamet's not this good. We're talking about talent. Shamet is playing
talent.
above and beyond his.
I'm not saying who's playing better.
Y'all think Champagne is this good?
2017,
Yeah, I'm not saying who's playing better. I'm just saying who has the talent.
You think Kendall Johnson is good? Like, what are you talking about?
Kendall Johnson's playing below his level. Kendall Johnson was 6 man a year.
Keldon,
sorry.
I don't even know the nigga name. Like,
He don't deserve to be called his name the way he's been playing. But he's playing below his level right now.
Out of the big three, I think it's closer than Spike and Nick to a certain extent.
I don't think.
Yeah, Manny said Harper's.
And
Kobe.
I think it's very relevant on that point that y'all brought up earlier when you said when Wemby's not on the floor. When Wemby ain't on the floor and the starters getting rest, the Knicks have their better team. They have better backups, and that's why they whooping their ass when Wemby's not out there.
Spike, no, that's not why that happens.
And
only happens is because Wemby's not on the court and they can drive to the hoop. It's a defensive thing. It just opens up.
And we haven't even mentioned
that's a part of it, but a part of it is their second team is
part
of
it. That's what it is.
But the second team isn't good. Like you should be able to supplement, even if Wemby's not out there defensively.
That's what I'm saying.
Offensively, they don't do any better. Huh?
Is Mikal Bridges better than De'Aaron Fox?
It's a wash.
No, I'm taking Mikal Bridges over. Fox has been shitty until game 3. What are you talking about?
He has a bad ankle.
It don't matter, man. He's been shitty until game 3.
Bro, you're not. I don't even like De'Aaron Fox like that, but you're
because you can't
early in the playoffs.
You can't bring up injury, bro. If he's playing, he's playing. If he was hurt,
Nick,
then he needs to sit your ass on the bench. So I'm judging.
You're
not about ready to get rid of Mikal Bridges.
I kept my mouth shut since the playoff. Since they went down 2-1 into Atlanta. I've been singing Mikal Bridges' praises. He's earning them draft picks up until this point. If they win this series, people will look back at the Mikal Bridges trades a lot differently than how they do now. And again, De'Aaron Fox, people are looking at De'Aaron Fox differently, Ken, up until game 3. They were saying this motherfucker don't realize that he about to get his ass shipped out of San Antonio for Harper.
Though. Again, we're talking about talent.
It doesn't.
Talent,
to me, and this is the issue that I have when people keep on bringing up talent. If talent doesn't play well, what does that say about the talent?
Yeah,
but
the Spurs
it doesn't matter how talented
you are. Spurs got 6 players that average double figures. The Knicks got 5. That's not the only telltale sign. But
Brunson is playing like shit. Does that mean he has less talent because he's playing like shit?
No, but Brunson is effective when it counts. When the games matter, like y'all just talked about.
I'm talking about what
has been the area.
If the talent doesn't.
No, he hasn't.
Talent level, then what does
he
it
has.
matter? My point is, you can be talented and not. You can have all the talent. Look, when we're talking about talent versus where they're playing, I think the context is different. We're talking about the ability, the talent of a player, not how they're actually performing. That was the context of the question when we're looking at the rosters and who has the more talented players. And then it comes down to where, Nick, you give the Knicks the better edge. Even though you keep talking about like Spurs, this is the Knicks have been in the finals. This is their first time being in the finals. They have more playoff experience overall than the Spurs, but they never been to the finals either. So they're a rookie here as well. However, the playoff experience they have has helped them, and it has helped them overcome the talent of the Spurs plus their young experience.
But my thing was the experience that the Knicks have is they have deep playoff experience. The Spurs do not have that. Right. And on top of that, before game 3, they were the most consistent team damn near in NBA history on a 13-win playoff win streak. That's what I'm adding all these factors into this thing. I'm not just taking the one sample size or whatever, like how y'all doing with De'Aaron Fox this series, where it's like, oh, the one game he shows up and they win. Now this is the Fox that we expected. Like, no, he hasn't been that. It was a surprise that he was. Like yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's just like so my thing is I am taking everything into account this playoff run. I'm not going back to regular season like FIFO. I'm talking about what's going on right now. The Spurs in the 3 games we've seen the Spurs and the Knicks play this series, they have lost 2 out of 3. and they barely won Game 3 with all the things going wrong for the Knicks. And to me, that says something.
Yeah, the only thing about it, and this is the last thing I have on it.
Barely won Game 2.
This is the only thing.
But they could have won. They all the mistakes. But I'm just saying all the mistakes the Spurs made in Game 2. They still had an opportunity to win that game. And guess what? What did they do, Sheldon?
They
I know, and the Knicks had all the opportunity to win Game 3.
So here's the thing though that you have to think about in a situation like this. When you're dealing with a young team like the Spurs, sometimes what they don't know is an advantage. And the fact that they know that they were in those first 2 games, they won this 3rd game. The fact that they don't know that they're supposed to be quiet and they're not supposed to be winning right now may play in their hands, where the confidence level may be through the roof now. Because every game they jump out on the Knicks. Every single game they've jumped out to an early lead. It's been 7 here, 9 here, 12 here, every single game. But that middle part of the game, there is a lapse. So now, if they can put it together, it can be scary for the Knicks. I can tell you that much.
That doesn't bother me, because something that FIFA always says is something that I agree with. What do you always say about basketball, FIFA? It's a game of what?
Runs.
Spurs get a run, Knicks get a run. I've seen the Knicks. Y'all keep on talking about the Spurs double digits. Y'all don't mention the Knicks double digits leads that they've had in this series too.
I've said that. I said that the way that the Knicks have closed out the Spurs exposes the Spurs inexperience, and it shows the Knicks experience. Because, and that's why I said, like, I've been enjoying this whole series because it's a punch counter punch.
Yeah, it is.
No team has gone like been up 30 in this series. They've all been within striking distance, and then Wemby comes out the game. New York goes on a run. Wemby comes back. They close the gap, and then New York closes them out. Like, that's how this series has been. That's why this has been a good series, and that's why I've been giving props to New York. But at the same time, it could be the other way. That's why at this point, even if I was going for the Knicks, I would still say Nick. I wouldn't care who wins, because this is what basketball is about. It's not about the 30-point blowouts and stuff like that. This is the type of basketball you want, because it's a game of runs. The team that has the last run has won every game.
Hi, everyone. I'm CeCe Winans. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. You can become a partner in Hope right now for just $19 a month. And thanks to the generosity of people like you, families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, so they can focus on helping their child live.
Join us at musicgives.org.
Let's talk about the new golden child, everybody's favorite guy. The NBA will not upgrade his foul to from the game where he basically grabbed Brunson around by his neck. I don't know what that was, but I don't know what. Hey, Wemby is French. Maybe he was thinking some things, but anyway, with the finals still going on, there have been a lot of discussion about how the golden child, Victor Wembanyama, has been underwhelming in his performance. While he is still incredibly talented and more than likely destined to be a future Hall of Famer, do we as fans and members of the sports media need to be more patient when it comes to anointing young stars? This question is not limited to the NBA, but also applies to the NFL. Nick, I want to ask you a question. Because it sounds like you about to toss Wemby down another flight of stairs if you lose.
No, I'm actually trying to say. I'm actually trying to save him, kid. That's what I'm trying to.
Okay, because I think it's undeniable, like what he's been able to do in his first year. I don't even know how young LeBron was. He's
the same age. He was the same age. He was the same age when he went to the finals.
Yeah. So. Wow, that's interesting. So, LeBron I mean, what do you guys think?
Less years in the league, though, right?
I think it's fine in this case to crown him. I know that he has work to do and he will improve. I think he will, and he does have room for improvement. He's got to get a go-to move. He's got to figure it out going forward. But he's done some incredible things. He has the record for all-time blocks in the playoff series, which is incredible for a person in his first run. So in saying that, he's done some incredible things, and he got this team that a lot of people didn't think would even be here didn't even make the playoffs last year to the finals. So he deserves a lot of that credit that he's getting. With that, you can say he still has room for growth, though, and I know he does. He does not have a go-to move yet.
Yeah.
So both can be true. In this case, it's not too early.
I'm with Sheldon. I think both can be true. I do hate when we try to, and I think this is just the society we live in, social media, this era of just instant gratitude where we want to just anoint everyone right away without putting in the work. I think there is something to say about that. I think two things can be true. I think you can celebrate this young man for the type of player that he is already at a young age and the things that he's accomplished already, while also saying he's got a long way to go. We're not going to get on here on Dead End Sports and say, all right, move over Kareem, move over Shaq. Let's start building his statue on Mount Rushmore. Like, no, I think you can have a measured approach of saying, yo, this dude is an alien. He's a demon. He's only going to get better. He still has a long way to go. But what he's doing right now is great. I don't think there's anything wrong with having that measured discussion. But again, we've lost the ability to have measured discussions and nuance, because if you're not the greatest thing ever now, then you suck tomorrow, right? Like there's no in between. So yeah, I agree with the question. I think we should always have a measured approach when we're talking sports and trying to anoint guys, because these things change overnight. Like these things change overnight. Wemby's one rolled ankle, another blood clot away from being a flash in the pan, right? So I think that you just have to you have to do it for a longer period of time. Track record is important when you're evaluating players. But yeah, Wemby, I think you could definitely celebrate Wemby and still say like he has a long way to go.
Yeah, like this is not a career thing. And I think that when we're talking about young players, is that the first and foremost is that we have to talk about them in the moment. It's what have they done in the moment to prove the accolades or the flowers that they're receiving. And at the end of the day, we're watching Wemby do things that we've never seen nobody else do, at least not in our lifetime. You know what I'm saying? I was just talking to B not too long ago, and he was telling me how his pops was saying Wemby's Will Chamberlain with handles in a 3-point shot. I watch Will Chamberlain, but that's how he felt when he watched them, and now when he watches Wembanyama. And that's obviously big praise for somebody, as an elder statesman as he is, that's seen all of the greats play. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's what it is that young player doing now that makes you want to give them those flowers. And I don't care how young they are. It's not about, are they going to win a championship? Are they going to be the greatest? It's, I ain't never seen that before. We felt like that with Pat Mahomes. When he finally got the start in Kansas City and he started doing some of that shit, like, hey, bro, have you seen that? I'd never seen that before. I ain't never seen nobody running to the left side, about to get sacked and throw with my left hand. I ain't never seen that before.
To your point, FIFO, greatness is instant. You know it from when you see
1,000,000%.
You don't need to like, let me talk to my homies. Let me talk to my dad to see. Nah, you know it.
You see it.
You knew first game
right away.
You knew greatness. I'm sure back in the days,
LeBron James.
Yeah, exactly. You knew it. You just had to let it cook and okay, let it develop, let the track record build. But greatness right away.
1,000,000%, because we don't know where they're gonna land in the pantheon of the greats. They're great. That they have the opportunity to be one of the all-timers. But do they have the drive? Do they have the will? Are they going to be healthy enough? We don't know. Those questions are yet to be answered. But what we've seen from Wemby, he deserves every flower that he's getting right now.
Go ahead, Lou.
What was the original question again, Ken? Is he overhyping him?
Yeah. Do we need to be more patient before we anoint young stars? That's the question.
I think, yes, we do need more patience before we anoint young stars, but we also get excited when we see greatness, because I think it was pretty evident in him, even in the clips they were showing before he made it to the NBA. People were excited. Even with Patrick Mahomes, to FIFO's point, I ain't never seen nobody like go completely horizontal, vertical, whatever it is, and throw the ball that way and complete a pass. Like, I've never seen anyone do that. And so when you see them and you say, yeah, you want to give them time. However, as fans, we know, like, nah, that's different. Like B-Dad said, that's Will Chamberlain dribbling a basketball. We've never seen anything like that. So the expectation shouldn't be there. No, we should expect him to continue to grow into that greatness, God forbid something happened to him, he get hurt, anything like that. But if he continues on his trajectory, then yes. Do I expect him to win this final series? No, but that don't take nothing away from his greatness. And I don't think that we're being too quick to judge when we see greatness either, because we see it there in a Patrick Mahomes, in a Wemby, in a LeBron, in all of these places, and you're like, yeah, I see it. It's there. It may not be to its full potential yet. He may not even know what he has yet, but I still see it and it's there. So I think it's fair because, again, the fan is short for fanatic, and people are into this. They want to talk about it every day. We in this era where everybody got a take, everybody got a podcast or a talk show. So they need something to talk about. And it seems like that we're rushing these things, but people just excited. And I think that's natural when you're looking at something that you've never seen before.
And also, I think the word great gets thrown around too quickly, right?
It does.
That word gets thrown around. For me, I think when I look at a player, especially young players, do they have that it factor, those intangibles that you can't measure on a stat sheet? Anybody can score points. Anybody can go out and score 30 points, 10 rebounds, whatever. Especially in this day and age with the skill level that these players possess, but the intangibles, that leadership quality. And I think that's been the thing for me. Not being, I wouldn't say I was a hater of Wemby, but I got to see more. Like, I got to see him in the postseason to see, whatever. And seeing the intangibles, the leadership quality that he possesses, that dog that he brings, that kind of like an old school mentality. Like, I want to fucking kill you when I'm on the court. That's been the most impressive thing to me, because that's the thing that I think sets guys apart from talented, flashy guys to, okay, this guy is great. Not only his game is great, but his attitude, his mindset, that takes those guys to the next level. So that's been the most impressive thing for Wemby. But I do think that guys get crowned too early. And I also think we're ready to tear guys down too quickly too. That's the other part of that too, right? Like, okay, I guarantee you they lose in 6. Man, Wemby's overrated, man. Oh, he's on the clock. To Nick's point, we got to have a conversation about Wemby. Like, I think we're ready to tear these guys down when we like greatness. Success isn't linear, and greatness isn't linear also. And like, it takes time, man. It took Jordan 8 years to win a championship. If Jordan was around in today's age, we would have had a conversation after the first Pistons series. So I think we just need to be measured in all facets of sports discussions going forward.
That's where I'm at with it. To Manny's last point, I don't deny what Wemby looks like. I just don't believe it until I see it now when it comes to a lot of these players. Because to Manny's point, I'm not trying to discredit him if they do lose. You know what I'm saying? Or like, what he's able to do in year 2 should be judged off of, like, that is a great thing. Go from not making the playoffs to getting to the NBA Finals in one season turnaround speaks to how talented he is and where he can potentially go. But I saw I heard a lot of chatter about, like, when they were down to 0-2, and people were like, well, Wemby isn't this, isn't that, y'all, all this other stuff. That's where the question comes from, Kenneth, because everyone built him up already like his Hall of Fame career is here and he's about to get this ring and do all this other stuff. And it's like, well, nah, he ain't done that yet. But that doesn't say anything bad about him. That just says that he hasn't done it yet. But what the other side of that is that, he's not going to do it, or he's overrated. He's not the face of the league and all that stuff. And that's where the question it comes in, because I feel like we do want to see greatness because we know what is leaving the league, specifically in the NBA, in the next 3 seasons. Steph, KD, LeBron, whoever else you may have, in the next 3 seasons, they're more than likely going to be gone. And people are, I'm not going to say terrified, but they're nervous about what does the NBA look like when we don't have these main stars or these main storylines to talk about every season in and out. You know what I'm saying? Now that Victor is here and literally showcasing himself in front of the world, it's like, okay, we're ready to move on. Like, we finally got somebody we can move on. We thought it was going to be Joker. We thought it was going to be Luka. We thought it was going to be Giannis. We thought it was going to be Shea. No, it's like we've thrown so many people under the bus to prop up Wemby that if Wemby doesn't plan out, then the whole league is now crumbling. So to me, that's where I'm saying is, like, we should just be patient to see who's actually going to be the star that we think he is. Because, Sheldon, black women always say, don't fall in love with potential, right? and Wemby got all the potential in the world to be something, but we got to also see it to then justify everything else. I don't think it's bad to be a fan of his, but I also think that you have to taper expectations until you really see it.
But I think
what are we looking for?
Wait, hold on. Okay, because this is exactly where I'm going with it. Because this is where I disagree with your take. Because you're always talking about, well, what has he done? You have to be in the present and what he's doing. What he's doing as a year 3 player, as a 22-year-old, he's in the finals and he's having one of the greatest playoff runs we've ever seen in the history of the sport 3 years into his career. So I'm not crowning him as the greatest to ever do it. And I'm not saying that he has a Hall of Fame career yet. What I am saying is he has taken the steps on that Hall of Fame path today. We are watching him walk the walk right now. We can't say what his career has ended up, but we can honestly evaluate and say, bruh, like to the point earlier, we haven't seen it. What he's doing now, we have not seen at this capacity, and we've never seen, at least I can't remember, a team that didn't make the playoffs and then is in the finals. I can't remember. If one of y'all in the chat, somebody, let me know, because I don't remember ever seeing something like that. So all I'm saying is I'm not propping him up as the greatest to ever do it. I'm saying he has the most potential I've ever seen. And that's just being in the moment. And I think I'm being honest when I say that. Anybody here that says otherwise, we're not watching the same game.
I think that he is definitely ahead of schedule. They should not have won that game against OKC in Game 7. They won that game. It was Wemby and the whole team was locked in. And that's what makes this team that's what's helping push Wemby up in addition to what Wemby's doing. You got Castle, you got Champagny, you got Fox's leadership, even though he's playing like trash. You got the kid that looked like a NBA 2K draft player made by the CPU. What's in the Carter Bryant? Yeah, you got him. Keldon Johnson's been there for a minute. He thought he was going to guy, but he settled into his role. They have a bunch of young guys that contribute in a positive way. And then you got Wemby that everything kind of flows around, but together, when they're playing together, they're tough. But Wemby's not there yet. He's here now because of the team. And then you got this young ass coach. I mean, this coach
2 years
is young as hell. Yeah, so it's a team filled with a bunch of YNs. So I think when you look at the future of the league, it looks promising. You got Ant. I love Ant, and I love Wemby's mentality. You know, and I think that his skill set allows him to do a lot of things that he wants to be great. Like he's channeling that Kobe mindset without the Kobe game yet. Like he doesn't have all of that yet. You know, but one thing outside of his go-to moves and shit like that, how about better interviews? Tighten up the English, my brother. Like, what did he say last night? John's not done. Like it's like he's thinking through the translation. It's like, please stop here. Bro, not asking him another goddamn question.
Nah, he do sometimes talk like Yoda. You know what I'm saying? It's like wait.
Y'all sound like a white
game. We won. It's like, bro, like, okay, we know that. Like, Jesus Christ. Somebody go get Steven Castle. Let's talk to
these
him.
niggas that speak English. I don't want to hear him on the mic. So.
My thing is more with Wemby. I think where he's kind of he's digging himself into putting himself in an interesting place is like there's a point of confidence, but then there's also a point of cockiness. And like with some of his post-game interviews, and I think it's been influential on the rest of the team, like they believe that they're the better team, but when they are losing, they're very critical of like, oh, it ain't got nothing to do with them, it's all about us. Like we're off our game. It ain't got nothing to do with how a top 5 defensive team in the NBA is playing against us. It's just us. We're just missing shots. Because to me, again, I go back to game 2 because in his young career, we haven't seen him have to make a game winner on that magnitude level before. And when we saw the opportunity, the guy that Manny is dissing as far as not a talented or impactful player, Mitchell Robinson, when he was guarding him, it looked like it should have been an easy bucket, but then he clanked it and he tried to fall down like SGA to see if he can get a foul. And it's kind of like this is going to be tougher than what you think. Respect the league, respect the team across from you. I think that's where I feel like there is a lack of somewhat professionalism. That now, again, they're young, so they can learn from this. Because he was young when he elbowed Nas Reed in the throat. That was a young, immature thing. So he's learning as they grow. But again, that's why I say this youth, I don't see in the next few games the youth being eradicated from this team.
Get off my yard, Nick.
I'm just all I'm saying is that
you just came in this with the respectability politics, Nick. Like,
what do you mean respectability politics? I just said, like, bro, you don't see Brunson, like, when the Knicks were up 2-0, they didn't say, like, oh, this team, we clearly gonna sweep them and all, none of that shit. It's like, nah, bro. It's like, bro, they say we take one game at a time. We're trying to be 1-0. You know what I'm saying? You see how Mikal Bridges was talking after game 2. You see how Cat was talking after game 1. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
Neither one of them should say anything anyway.
But what have you seen from the Spurs that's been, disrespectful?
Didn't y'all just say Castle said we gonna be up? We gonna win the next 3 games or something like? It's like, bro, the stuff that y'all keep on talking about. Oh, we love this old school type of mentality. If anybody else was doing this, but the guy that y'all like, y'all would be saying, "Calm the fuck down."
You would be saying the same thing too.
I'm saying it now.
Proof is in the pudding, or Nick. We've seen this team win 60+ games. We've seen this team whoop OKC all year long. We've seen them beat OKC in a 7-game series. Bro, do you not think my nuts gonna hang just a little bit? You don't think I could go? You don't think we could go on a 3-game winning streak against anybody in the NBA when we got a 7'4.5" monster behind me hitting threes and dribbling and blocking all types of stuff?
Not when you're down 0-2, bro.
Not when you're down 0-2 or 2-1 because they're young and they don't know no better.
And that's young. Again, that's because they're young. If they were smarter and older, they would say. It is disrespectful.
Understandable.
It is disrespectful. If you come out here and you tell me, I'm a better team, I'm a better team, and we should have won these games, and we lost these games, you sound like a loser. Come and say we taking the next game like it's supposed to be taken. They sound like losers because that shit the losers say. We're the better team. Because Manny was just making fun of the. Hold on, let me finish. Manny was just making fun of the coach for saying, "Oh, we supposed to be up 3-0 analytically." All that shit that y'all talking about, what y'all supposed to be doing, and the Spurs way, and this, that, and the third, it don't matter because you went out there and you lost. You lost the first 2 games at home. Right. That's on you. That ain't on nobody else. So if you the better team, go win.
Well, that's Lou. That's the thing, though, Lou. That's the thing, though, Lou. For them to say that they're gonna win the next ones, you got to go out and prove it now. So I'm with y'all. I wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't have said it either. But since they said it, now they got to back it up. That's just the bottom line. I can't. You can't go backwards. You can only go forward.
I don't look at it as disrespect, though. I look at it as youthful exuberance and confidence. They're confident in their.
Because you like them niggas, bro. That's the only reason.
It's disrespectful.
But here's the thing, right? Like, okay, like Shelton said, now they put it out there. Now they're putting their names on it, right? Now you got to go out and back it up. I don't think the thing is, I don't think that they're being disrespectful towards their opponent. I think it's just like, yo, we're young, we the shit, and we're here to prove it. Now, if you don't like that shit, beat us. And so far, the Knicks have beat them. But I respect that they're putting their nuts out there and they're saying, like, yo, we here. Like, we're not cowering, we're not hiding, we here. We're gonna do what we need to do, and the proof is in the pudding. At the end of the day, you can say whatever you want. You got to step out on the court, you got to make the adjustments, you got to play the game, you got to hit your jump shots, and that's what's gonna. All this talking, all this, well, we should have did this, or we're only up 1-0. At the end of the day, you got to execute. That's it.
I haven't seen shit that they've done to give me the confidence they're gonna win 3 straight.
We shall see.
All I'm gonna say is this: the reason why I don't think what the Spurs are doing and saying is disrespect, because they don't disrespect the game. They don't shortchange the game. They're not over here foul baiting. They're playing the game the way that the game is being ref, and they're giving it their all. Regardless of the win or the loss, you see that they are definitely leaving it all out there, with the mistakes and without the mistakes, with the losses, with the dubs. They are leaving it out there. So for me, because I am giving them grace because how young they are, but they're not disrespecting the game because they are playing the game. They're not asking for the refs to call more fouls or less fouls, and they're not complaining. They're going out there and they're taking their wins and they're taking their losses. So to me, that's why I like what they're doing, because they're respecting the game of basketball in that way. And if you do that, then anything can happen.
I don't disagree with that, but keep your mouth shut, bro.
No, my only thing is, Manny, I'm with Manny, I'm with you 100% if they were if they were in the 2-1 position. If they were saying, oh, we lost one and we're going to win the next two, whatever, I'm fine with it because they're in the catbird seat. But to be down, like to not have won a home game in this series so far and to take a good win on the road and then say this is still down. It's a little, again, the commentary that y'all have around this, I feel like it's because you see the promise in this team. I get why y'all saying that, but at the same time, I'm looking at the facts of where they are right now. Like, bro, it's too early to be talking like that.
I'm not necessarily agreeing with you, Nick and Spike. I think my thing for me is I respect it. Now, I don't necessarily agree with it. I mean, if I was a fan, I'd be more on the pessimistic, like, yo, man, y'all got to be, but whatever. At the end of the day, I can't police how those young men carry themselves on and off the court. Like, that's them. Right, like if it works for them, that's what works for them, right? They're clearly doing something right because they're in the NBA Finals, right? So like I can't police what they're gonna do. My thing is, we shall see. At the end of the day, all that talking, all this, all that, all the bravado, we're gonna know with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the Spurs are down 1. Knicks with the ball, we're gonna see all that bravado goes out the window. Who makes the plays to win the game? That's it.
I would respect it if they was up. I think they would have a totally different tone if they was up. They would do the other shit that the Knicks is doing because they don't want to jinx it. I would like it if they was up, Ken, because I don't mind a little shit
these
talk.
Athletes are boring.
I don't mind a little shit. Yeah, no. To Manny's point, I don't mind a little shit talk.
If you
cool.
up, if you
I'm winning, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's fine. But like when you lose it,
that's what I want to hear. That means you have confidence in yourself. That's all I care about.
That means you trying to convince me. That means you trying to convince me that you ain't finna go out here and get your ass whooped. Because I seen you get your ass whooped 2 times before.
No. They took L's. They didn't take an ass whooping. It's a big difference now.
You can get a technical knockout, or you can get a 12-round loss. It's still a loss.
It's still a knockout. Loss is a loss.
I'm just saying, a loss is a loss.
It's not an ass whooping.
I don't respect when losers talk shit. I don't respect it.
Saying this as a Cowboys fan, y'all.
Y'all don't hear me talk shit. I don't talk shit. I don't talk. Y'all never hear me talk shit.
Man. We saw scores. Who had more fight in them last night, the Knicks or their fans? It looked like WWE after the game in the New York streets.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, that was disgusting too.
Yeah,
that was nasty.
That's true. That's
it's
wrong.
Not real New Yorkers, bro. It's a bunch of little niggas that want to be on TV, that want to be on social media, doing this dumb shit. It's stupid. You sound dumb, and you look dumb. And it's like, I hope they all get arrested.
Yeah, that's not the viral moments that I like from the New York fan base. There's been a lot of good viral moments that have come out from these finals, but yeah, that's ugly.
Can I ask a quick question? Would y'all wear an opposing team's jersey to the other stadium?
No.
Yeah.
I would.
It depends on what city I'm in.
Yeah, 100%.
Philly.
Memphis, no.
Memphis, no.
You root silently.
I say Boston. I wouldn't wear nothing in Boston. Like some of these states where sundown states, nigga. No,
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it in no other opposing team. Like I'm not wearing a Cowboys jersey in no opposing team stadium. Hey, just because I feel like that's inviting.
You saw that poster where they said it was crazy to spend 5 figures on a ticket to see the Knicks lose.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Hey, Spike Lee been doing it for decades, Sheldon. It don't matter.
But also, I think these things happen to people that people think are unassuming, and they get
soft. Yeah,
I just told
now,
Spike.
Did you see that big ass nigga?
I said,
no,
I didn't
see the big nigga. There's a big nigga.
See that big dude.
There's a super big black guy with a Wemby jersey on, bro. He was like 6'7", 6'8". He was tired, and they was trying to fight him and stuff, and he was just like, "Come on, bro, like what y'all gonna do?" But then the cops arrested him.
What?
The cops arrested him. Yeah, no, it was crazy. It's on social media.
Did anybody swing on him?
Yeah, they swung on him, but they couldn't reach.
I don't know. I think they know who to mess with and who not to mess with.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm CeCe Winans. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. You can become a partner in Hope right now for just $19 a month. And thanks to the generosity of people like you, families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, so they can focus on helping their child live.
Join us at musicgives.org.
5.
Yeah, I feel like that's more.
Would y'all take SGA over prime CP3?
No.
Yes, he's NBA champion.
One got a ring.
Yeah, he's the NBA champion. Yes,
absolutely. Not.
But I think CP3
different players though.
Height. Pause. He's short in NBA terms, but CP3 at his prime could do more with less than SGA could, in my opinion.
SGA is an NBA champion, and
I give you that because he has a great team built around.
Who's a better
him.
player though, Shelton? If between the two, just
told you Shelton get his news. I told you what Shelton get his news from.
No, CP3 has always been nice with that rock. Now he know what he's doing with that rock, but SGA.
Lou,
he still got the intangibles. SGA the one.
In the Western Conference Final? Oh, he did after. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, given prime, this is the questions where, like, in 20 years, people are gonna just automatically say SGA because, like what Sheldon said. But if you watch the games back in the day, if you saw CP3 in his prime, it's like, bruh, if he was ever on a team like OKC is during SGA's type of thing, like when David Stern nixed that Lakers trade, that was gonna be the run that we were gonna see.
Play with talent.
Not as talented, not enough talent that, like, the closest he got was Houston with James Harden and
the Clippers.
Yeah, but they never had a wing. There was just two bigs. Look, if you look at CP3's career, his best teams outside of that Houston squad, he always had a big or two that was really good, or he elevated them. You look at Tyson Chandler and David West. You look at Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. If he would have played on a team like that Portland team with Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, that's a big if. That's a way different team for him. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's why I'm saying I'll take a prime CP. If we're just taking player for player, I can plug and play CP on more teams than I could plug and play SGA. You got to build around SGA. You could put CP on any team and it's going to work.
Two different players, though, to me, though. I don't know. It's not a apples to apples comparison.
I think the two different players thing is just the CP3 is a better basketball player. SGA is nice, don't get me wrong, but
see how you can
CP3 because
I don't see how you can
from a traditional point guard sense, what we've seen Chris Paul do is very few point guards that have done that. SGA, he's doing his thing, back-to-back MVPs, finals. There are other people that can do that. They just don't have the opportunity because they're not in OKC. I ain't taking nothing away from SGA game. He is elite. But CP3 is like that's generational talent.
There's other people that can do that?
Yes. That's a wild statement.
What? It is. You're wild. So wait. Hold on. I understand what Lou is saying.
I did too, but it just sounded funny.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me smooth it out a little bit. What he's saying is stylistically, what SGA can do is more replicatable than how CP3 plays the game. Okay. That difference in that SGA is great, right? But that style of play, there's a whole bunch of other players that we can name that play like that versus the way we seen CP3 play the game.
I understand.
It ain't too many people.
I've seen CP3 go to one final and blow a 2-0 lead.
Yep, and SGA got Chet a championship too. So that there you go.
Hurry up and buy. From terrible officiating to the decline of All-Star Weekend and now the implementation of AI on reviews, is Adam Silver the worst commissioner ever? What's this last part he's talking about?
I ain't know nothing about AI reviews.
AI on reviews? Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I didn't know they were going to do that. I had no idea they were doing that, but
I just don't think Adam Silver has really left his mark on the game. Like, what has Adam Silver done to make basketball better?
I feel like he still got a long time too, though.
He's been on the job for a decade now.
He's been on it for a minute. I think it's a tournament. Look, there has been a decline of All-Star Weekend. That's not all on Adam Silver, but I do like the changes that they've made. I think that I think we are moving in the right direction.
You like the NBA? The NBA Cup, you like?
I like it. Shit, the numbers say that we like it.
Oh,
I think
okay.
10 years from now,
So
it's gonna
here's
really
what
be
we
bad.
got. So Marty said they're going to use AI for out of bounds stuff, which isn't bad.
That's fine.
How many
No,
times
that's
I've
not
been
bad.
telling y'all this shit for how many years? For about a while now. I said they're going to start doing that shit. They better get this shit right. They're going to start using AI.
So it's like robot umps in baseball. So they're going to use the
Yeah.
They use it in tennis already. They got it in baseball. Yeah.
I like the baseball thing, man. I like the robot up.
I like it too, but you call it AI, it means it.
Yeah, that sounds. That sounds
AI is the
weird.
thing that people say for everything. So I get it. You know, it's just the go-to buzzword right now. But I think that makes sense. These damn humans be fucking up. Tighten
It's
up.
fire. Like tennis,
And
when
it
you
takes
watching
too long.
tennis, when you watching tennis and they do it, it's fire. How they like show the little thing right there. Yeah.
I agree.
But human error is a part of sports too, though. That's the
We don't want it though.
It's a part of
I'm just
sports.
saying-
Fuck your team until it fucks your team.
No, but the thing is, that's the thing about human error. It hits everybody. That's the fairness of it. It hits.
Want to see?
It won't be fair anymore. It's going to be
like I wouldn't want to see an AI referee or a AI referee.
But that's what we're gonna get to. But that's what when you implement.
so.
But when you implement small things like this, it gets to the point. Like in 50 years, there's gonna be an AI.
going to
I
happen.
think it'll be impossible to do because they ain't gonna be able to figure out nuance. They ain't gonna be like there's a nuance to what officiating is. They ain't gonna be able to figure it out. You can't do that.
We're never
They
going
don't
to
want
see
nuance.
it. It's going to be like baseball. You're going to see the.
It'll be the sport will be unwatchable, okay? Because it would be a
It'll be
foul.
AI
Like
assisted.
let's say
Stop
they did it in football.
fouling.
It would be a holding thing every play.
Yes.
Stop
Because
holding.
if they put the technicality of the rules
No.
in there, like it would literally be holding every play if they put AI in there to
They'll call
officiate.
travel more.
What
Hey,
travel?
Spike,
So
was
shit
that,
like that.
was that a catch?
Yeah, Dez Bryant catch was a catch.
I bet you wish
Hell
you
yeah,
had
that
the
was a
machine
catch.
out there then, huh?
Hell yeah, that was a catch.
Manny, who's
See how I
winning
immediately knew
King
what you
of the
were
Ring?
talking about?
Yeah, I know. Who's winning King of the Ring?
Oh man, WWE question. Shit. Yeah. Let's say probably Oba Femi. That's my pick.
Watching WWE in 2026 is crazy. Shout out to the wrestling fans, but hey, bro, the era we saw the last of the great era when once The Rock, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, and all them motherfuckers went out, bro. That was
Do you
it.
watch it weekly, Manny?
You live amongst WWE fans without the way you
Wait, do you watch it weekly? Like, do you tune in like Monday Night Raw or something?
Yeah, I podcast about it. Yeah, so
Okay.
Hey, man, hold it down.
that ain't wrestling, man. You can. You gotta holler at me when you want to do it.
him and 50 other dweebs watching it.
You know, I got a homeboy that do a wrestling podcast too. I was amazed by it.
Hey, them white folks be paying them racist white folks.
Niggas love wrestling though. You know how many niggas love
I was surprised. Yeah.
I'm about to say,
Yeah.
man,
Four,
those-
Manny, 4.
Yeah,
Man,
one of
people
six.
fuck with it for real. Manny right though. People fuck with it. You be like,
I
nigga,
know.
you watch wrestling?
They can't let it go.
It's like today's soap opera is what it is.
It is. It's always been that way, but like to me, the rose-colored glasses came off when, like, especially now that ESPN is a big backer of it. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's different. And Manny, you know, I live in the state. I live not too far from Stanford, where the headquarters is. So I don't know. It to me, it lost its appeal a while ago.
It's crazy though that at one point, certain people, including myself, thought wrestling may have been real.
Yeah.
Yeah, back well, it was real back in the day with Randy Macho Man Savage when they was doing cocaine before they came out. You know what I'm saying? Everything was good in the 80s and early 90s.
For a hustle, players can bet on their own team in college football now. What does the Brennan Sorsby ruling mean for the future of college football? I love what everybody's doing. They were like, do not put them on my goddamn schedule. That shit is tight.
This is first of all, the judge has ties to fucking Texas Tech. Everything that you need to know. I think this is. Listen, I don't agree with Nick Saban because I think I agree that the game needs to have more regulations, especially this NIL era. Again, when you say this, you get the idiots out there. Oh, you don't believe players should get paid? I believe these young athletes should get everything entitled to them. But I think if you're going to do this, I think it needs to be regulated. I think you need a governing body. I think that the student athletes need a CBA or an organization that is for the student athletes so that they can collectively bargain. right? This is opening up a Pandora's box because what you just basically did, this judge in fucking Lubbock somewhere, was you just said the NCAA cannot punish Brandon Sorsby because the NCAA is taking checks from gambling companies, which, hey, I agree. I think that I don't want to hear any organization, I don't want to hear any sports organization or anything take the moral high ground because all you niggas is getting checks from DraftKings and FanDuel and all these Vegas books. This is why I was against this shit in the first place, because now you're seeing more and more of this and you're opening up this Pandora's box. Like, this kid should not play. He bet on his fucking team. He bet on Indiana 2 or 3 years ago when he was on the team. And then he had insider information and he voted and he placed bets and parlays on a quarterback having the under in yardage. Like, how would he know this information? How would he be so confident to place these sort of bets and sort of wagers if he didn't know something? I think it's just opening up a Pandora's box. You've seen the shit with the NBA. You've seen the shit with MLB. I just think it's a bad look across the board, man. I just really do. I think it's bad all the way.
Players and betting shouldn't happen. I at the end of the day, these college guys now they're making millions. Not obviously not all of them. NBA and professional guys, you guys are making millions. You don't need to get the pennies that comes from the betting side. They don't keep that separated because now the integrity of the game is in question. Now, when you see that there's a 2.5 point under, those guys they're gunning for it because they done bet on themselves. Like, come on, bro. That is not a good look. The integrity of sports is lost when you allow people to bet on themselves or others because, like Manny said, of the inside information that the rest of the general public would not have. So, no, this is not a good look. If you play a major collegiate sport or play professionally, you should not be able to bet. High school, that's a little different. It is what it is. There's more on the line of wins and losses, right? But when we're talking about college, we're talking about, pro athletes. Hell no. So, get that up out of here.
Imagine being a teammate on this dude. Like, I'm looking at this dude kind of funny. Like, yo, you throw two picks. I'm gonna look at this nigga like, yo.
It says you can bet on your team. Does that mean you can only bet for them to win, or you can bet win or loss?
You can't bet, period, nigga. Like,
I had to clarify to make sure that which side I stood on this.
Period.
If you could be able to bet and just win, then I don't care about it.
Hey, Lou is a scumbag at heart, Roscoe.
Will be all over the fucking place. As long as he wins,
as long as he wins, like if he betting to win, then that's one thing. I feel like if you're betting to lose, that's different.
My thing is it's typical hashtag white man luck. Like, because if this was again, I'm looking at the yesteryears of Terrell Pryor and all the other ones who had to fall on the sword for this type of shit.
Reggie Bush.
Yeah, exactly. And then you see who the ones who are benefiting from it, and it's not anyone that resembles those players. It's just very interesting how things are moving forward. I am leaning more. I was against Manny's side as far as like, let this be the Wild Wild West. This is what the NCAA deserves when they locked all these players out from earning the money that they should have gotten, going all the way back even before Reggie Bush. But now it is getting to the point where it's mostly because of the gambling thing. I don't even think I feel like people are blaming NIL when they really should be blaming the gambling thing. Like adding Vegas to the all these leagues is what's the issue. It's not NIL. But I think they're going to attack NIL to regulate the gambling. And I'm at that point where there probably does need to be a CBA. They're more likely going to get a salary cap. Like all the stuff that's going to happen, that's happening in more professional sports is going to happen in college football. So for the kids who are in it right now, while it's still crazy, go ahead and run it up. Run that bill up.
What's good, y'all? This is Doug E. Fresh, and we're asking for your support. Help us raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food so they can focus on helping their child live. By pledging just $19 a month, you're helping St. Jude give every child with cancer a chance. Help St. Jude save lives. Become a partner in hope today.
Join us at musicgives.org.
All right, let's get through the rest of these questions. Hurry up and Bob. What all-time team do y'all think could give the Lakers all-time team a run for their money?
Nobody. I'm kidding.
Oh, like just the Lakers greats?
Yeah, like all-time teams for this team versus all-time team. I would say this. I mean, easy answer would probably be the Celtics. They have the other Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Celtics would be the only one I could think of.
Celtics,
Sixers maybe.
Yeah, Sixers. You got to look at like a classic franchise that's had like a lot of great players.
Yeah.
Celtics, Sixers.
I think Spurs on that list.
Yeah, I think so too.
Tier below, but they're on that list.
Spurs probably.
The only reason I don't think the Spurs got enough up and down that line.
Robinson.
David Robinson, Tim Duncan. You could put Wemby there. Manu, Tony Parker.
Could you imagine Wemby playing the three?
See, I don't think Tony
Wemby
Parker
at the three and Kawhi at the two. That would be nuts.
Compared to the Lakers greats, I don't think Manu and Tony Parker would stand a chance.
Oh, you tripping? You tripping? Kobe had struggles against Manu Ginobili.
Imagine Tony Parker trying to guard Magic.
Struggles.
Can't nobody guard Magic except for probably LeBron or Scott.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. So that's why that's the matchup.
That's why I said tier below.
Where Jalen at?
Who else Tony Parker gonna guard? Kobe?
They would have Kawhi Leonard on Magic.
So who gonna be guarding Kobe?
So you putting Tony on Kobe?
Nah, put Kawhi on Kobe.
And he's
exactly.
He's food.
Yeah. No. And Magic
because look,
Magic.
Even though Tony can't guard Magic can't run with TP. Not prime TP. TP was easier. TP led the league in paint points. Because of the spin floater.
That spin floater on the 6'9".
Hey,
Magic don't play defense.
He can run away from him.
Yeah.
He can run away from him.
Good question. Dragon Knight, rank the impact of these if they never happened. KD foot on the line, Magic getting HIV, Kawhi game 7 shot, KD Achilles, Harden trade to Houston.
Magic is number one.
This is never disrespectful.
And KD's Achilles is number 2.
Hey, how did he think to add that in there?
That's nasty.
But it's number 1 though by far.
It's number 1 by far.
It's definitely number 1. It's number 1 on and off the court.
Yeah,
like this.
Oh boy!
Oh my God! Yeah, Magic and HIV is number 1.
If you remove the Magic, remove the Magic though. What about the rest of it? To me, it's
KD, then Kawhi.
KD foot on the line.
I think
KD Achilles is bigger for me because that was a championship run.
Yeah, they were 3.
KD's foot on the line is 3rd after Kawhi game 7.
Wait, when was his Achilles thing? What happened?
That was the finals when he went against Toronto.
Oh, okay, got you.
I got Kawhi. I got Kawhi game 7 shot because we look at Embiid differently if he misses that. And Embiid actually gets out of the second round for the first time, probably gets to the finals, and then we could probably look at Embiid's career totally different. Kawhi will still be looked at as a champion because he already got his ring, but to me, that made Kawhi be in a different category as far as NBA players and talent, and Embiid is now again looked at totally different because you go back to that shot, that kind of was the difference maker in his career.
I think it's Harden to trade to Houston because that has a lot of implications. If Harden doesn't get traded to Houston, is he an MVP candidate? Is he a super max player that he became? Is he considered one of the greatest 2 guards ever? Because if he stays in OKC, he becomes possibly a champion, but he doesn't get all of the individual accolades, right? So in the pantheon of the sport, is his name as big as it is now? I think the Harden trade has way more implications than outside of Magic difference in the NBA. I think that's literally a balance and shift of power. If OKC keeps him, OKC could go on a dynastic run. Harden gets traded, he's an individual talent. So I think the Harden trade of Houston is number 2 behind Magic.
Okay. Birdman, I thought we was gonna see Knicks second viral encounter with Paul last night. You laughing too hard, Shelton.
You gotta do more than $5 for that, bird. That's a $10 comment. Right
that's at least 15. If you're gonna use my trauma against me, that's at least $15.
I gotta run that up. Hurry up and buy. What teams has had a better 3-year streak of drafted players than the Spurs? Wemby, Castle, and Harper.
That's pretty tough right there.
Philly, the process.
Yeah, this right here, you talking about 3 players that could all be all-stars for a while. So that's a good big 3 right there.
The only other team in recent memory that comes close, because it has to be 3, because there's a lot of teams that drafted 2. Like I could think of Golden State with that's what I was gonna say. Charlotte. Charlotte's the only team in recent memory that comes even close with Khan, LaMelo, and Brandon Miller.
Yeah, that's a nice 3, but it's not this 3, of course.
It's not ain't that 3, but it's a nice 3.
Yeah.
And Boston. I don't know who they
Boston's only 2.
Boston's only
2. Yeah, most of them is just 2.
But are they but is the question 3 years consecutively, or is it just 3 individual?
3-year streak, so it's consecutively.
It is a streak.
I'd probably say Orlando's close. They only had the 2 though, with Shaq, and then technically Chris Webber traded that for Penny.
Memphis had 3. I don't know if it was in a row, but if you consider Ja, Triple J, and
was Desmond
Bain?
That's good. That's tough.
Bain was in the same draft.
Hurry up and buy. Speaking of wrestling, what are y'all most nostalgic, favorite WWE, WWF moments when y'all are younger? Appreciate y'all, boys. Good night.
Hurry up and buy. I was an NWA child. So I was before WWE, WWF. I was NWA
when NWA came out.
Yeah. Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair.
I was in high school. What are you talking about?
Right. So I was NWA was my thing. So watching Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair in Starrcade was
Ric Flair
was
wasn't in NWA.
Yeah, he was.
Bro, if it ain't DraftKings, you just out of the loop. Like, okay,
Ric Flair came from NWA. You better go back and look.
Yeah, he was a tour.
You talking
NWA?
Oh, I thought you was talking about the NWO. My bad, I heard you wrong. I said
no NWA.
Mine go to the Undertaker's first appearance at Survivor Series when he was on the $1 Million team with the $1 Million Man, and nobody had seen Undertaker before. I was that deep, did you, Manny? And nobody had seen Undertaker before. He came out, did the whole thing. And the second one would be WrestleMania when Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan fought. And both of them was laying in the middle of the ring and shit. And they did that whole thing. So those were my 2 as a kid. I was like, damn.
Manny, you gotta correct me if I'm wrong, if I remember this wrong. But to me, it was when Mr. Kennedy won WrestleMania.
Kennedy.
Yeah, Mr. Kennedy is the most underrated wrestler of all time. I fucked with it. He had one of the greatest introductions ever. With the mic dropping, coming down, and the whole lights getting. Bruh, I fuck with Mr. Kennedy.
Mine was back July 4th, 1993. Lex Luger body slamming Yokozuna, bro. That big ass.
I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah, bro. I remember that as a kid, bro. Like that was my first like real wrestling moment. Like, yo, like what is happening? And how is a human that damn big? I never
Yokozuna was a beast, man.
Huge. And then he just picked, like, he threw him off the thing. Yokozuna came and he picked him up and slammed him. I said, bro, like, what is going on here? That was my favorite wrestling moment as a kid.
Man, my favorite wrestling moment as a kid. I was a huge Bret Hart fan. That's still my favorite all-time wrestler, Bret Hart. Him and Stone Cold Steve Austin tied. I would say WrestleMania 10. Bret Hart opening match against Owen Hart. So brother versus brother, Owen gets the win. And then that story with Lex Luger and Bret finishing tied in the Rumble. They both get the championship match. Lex has his match earlier in the night. Yokozuna retains, and then Bret Hart winning the championship at the end to close out WrestleMania 10 and MSG. That would probably be my favorite. And that's the first WrestleMania my mom let me buy, like on pay-per-view. So yeah, just growing up, I think at the time I would have been like 8. Yeah, so that's the one for me.
All right. Well, I don't have one because I hated wrestling.
That's crazy.
I'll say Bruno Sammartino or something back from way back.
I don't even know who that is.
Iron Sheik.
Abdullah the Butcher. Shout out Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah, shout out to
I'm traumatized by wrestling.
he gave hepatitis C to one of the
That
guys.
shit gets on my nerves. Yeah.
No, but the comments is popping off with the wrestling though. Y'all think nobody watches wrestling?
I know they watch it. It's not that. It's not that it doesn't have an audience.
I'm telling you, 2027.
Birdman, here you go, bro. I ain't cheap like man.
Appreciate that, Birdman.
Appreciate you, Birdman.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man. As a matter of fact,
man, he did get that 50-cent tip that night, didn't he?
I hate to be a server when Manny come up to the restaurant.
That's a 49-cent question.
Manny will have a long conversation with you about wrestling and everything. Leave you a $2 bill.
Manny go hit that no tip button on you.
all right, man. That is it, man. Appreciate everybody sending in the questions and all. So appreciate it. And next week.
By next week we'll know who the champ was. Hey kid, I may pull a FIFA when things don't go right.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you because I think I was saying this Sunday. I don't want this to happen. I really want you to have your moment, bro.
Because I would be. It would make me more of a Knicks fan because it'd be like we were 2 games away from getting a fucking title.
But I swear to God, bro, if they lose this series after Trump showed up bro.
After Trump showed up and the Astros, these New Yorkers have been giving Spurs. Oh man, y'all.
Because it's not because Trump just showed up for one game and he said he's not gonna show. Basically, he's not gonna show up again. So it's like he just
they asked him not to come back.
Yeah, he came in the room just to fart and leave it. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my, like man.
Yeah, I hope he didn't mess things up for y'all, bro. Yeah,
I think he did.
That's
I ain't gonna say that, Shelton. We'll talk after game 4. All right, y'all. Well, we catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.